First one is false.
Dang it.
Remember that they know they have to go back in there and make sure they have clear margins because that type of cancer is very micro-invasive, and so they'll go back in, and even if it comes out clean, you still code it as cancer. They do recommend that you pull the path report from the previous surgery to show that there was cancer there, but yeah, it's false. The second one, the 5th digit on a morphology code does not show the number of metastatic sites, it shows the behavior, so that is also false. Cervical and vulvar dysplasia at stage 3, so SIN3 and VIN3 are coded as carcinoma in situ, that is true. The other two are not. SIN1 and SIN2 are not. They code as dysplasia. The principal diagnosis for an individual presenting for prophylactic organ removal to avoid cancer is the reason supporting the decision. So things like genetic susceptibility or family history, that is false. There is a Z40 code. That category says admission for prophylactic removal of an organ. That goes first, then their reason for doing it. Then the genetic susceptibility or the family history. All right, Miss Becky, you want to start us off?
392.5 and 3EO43KZ.
Okay, let's, you're close. But the reason they're being admitted is chemotherapy. So we're going to have that code admission for chemo. And you find that under chemo. You used to be able to find it under admission for, but I did not see it there anymore. So you have to go to chemo.
It's still under encounter.
Encounter, okay. And that's Z5111. Then you want to code the leukemia. It's C92.50. Okay, to show not specified as being in remission. Okay, and then the 3EO4305. Okay, 3EO4305. So your subclavian vein is a central vein. It's one of the larger veins where they put in central lines. Okay, and then it was done percutaneous. And what else is that? Oh, the chemo that you were given. Other chemo or other anti-neoplastic, I think it reads.
What is the subclavian vein? What is that? The central vein?
That's a central vein.
Oh,
Okay. Let's look that up.
I didn't know.
Okay, so we're gonna do chemotherapy. And when you get that, it says see introduction of substance. So we're going to go introduction. And then it is a central vein. So we want to go vein, central. And then you're going to come down to anti-neoplastic, which takes you to 3EO4. We'll go to 3EO4, and then we know it was percutaneous because it told us percutaneous, anti-neoplastic 0, other anti-neoplastic 5.
So I use the list on page 432.
For the heart, is it in the circulatory system?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is, I think I even showed you that, and that's not. What you have to think about is when you take that subclavian and take it all the way back, you know how it says if you don't have a spot, you have to keep going back, and it's going to go to like the superior vena cava. And that's the problem with that list. How many of you missed it because of that? Did you use that list?
I use this.
I was going to say, there's another handout I gave you that tells you that's a central line, that the central catheters are placed either in the subclavian or the jugular, or it even says femoral artery because it's one of the bigger
I
arteries.
looked in the back of the book and the veins are bigger
Yeah.
on the central.
Also, for me, I keep in mind middle of the body
I was
versus,
gonna say, I just went by, it's in the chest,
yeah.
so it must be.
The only one that bothers me on that list that I think you could get easily mixed up is the femoral, because the femoral isn't an extremity, but they are calling it a central because it's a big vein that they go straight up into the inferior vena. So I guess you'd have to watch what was being done.
So the brachial is a central?
No, the brachial's in the arm.
So how do I go off this list? What do you mean go off the list? Like if it's in
Well,
the
that
middle?
list just told you about central.
Oh.
But if you look in the back of your PCS book, there's a picture, and you would have been able to see the brachials in the arm. So anytime your
Why
arms,
did brachial the other one?
Huh?
It wasn't on the list.
that's because it's in the middle. So think about it that way. What's in the middle of your body is usually central, and peripheral is usually in the arms and legs.
Well, how do you know it's anti-neoplastic?
That's the word for against. Anti is against neoplasms. Okay, that's what it is. Against neoplasms. Okay. All right, let's look at number 2. What did you get for that, Jessica?
C78.6, C79.82, C80.1.
Correct. Okay, so this is multiple sites. Whenever you have multiple sites, they both code out as secondary with an unknown primary. So you've got C78.6 for the omentum, C79.82 for the uterus, and C80.1 for your unknown primary.
Does
Okay.
the order matter?
Well, you cannot have C80.1 first.
No.
Okay. I don't really care about the other two. You'd want to know where they focus their treatment.
I figured they'd go after the uterus first.
But you have to think, here's the other thing they tell you though. They tell you that a physician usually lists the most important one first, and as he's going, you can't always depend on that, but so if I don't have anything, I usually go with what's stated first. Okay.